Hi everybody. I am Cindy Lou. Most of you know me as Karen. I'm really mad that John Klanch sued Jeff Novotny when Jeff violated the Klanch's civil rights in August of 2023, and I want the world to know how much I hate the Klanch. Welcome back to the Klanch's channel. If you like what you see, leave a comment. If you don't like what you see, leave a comment.
Today on the Klanch's channel, we're going to let the community discuss when Jeff Novotny violated his civil rights. Some members of the community are pretty fucking pissed off. Their hatred is palpable. Some feel that John Klanch is just an asshole who deserves anything he gets from law enforcement. Others, however, are not ignorant dickheads, and they know that the First Amendment of the Constitution of the United States protects us citizens from tyrant feral pig cops when they are on power trips, and they are demanding that you respect their authority.
Hi, I'm Jeff Novotny, and I have something to say about why I decided to violate John Klanch's constitutional rights. He's just a jack-off who needs punished. A few years ago, one of my buddies held his gun to his head. Man, we all really wish he would have just done the world a favor and splattered the Klanch's brains all over Southmont Boulevard. But he didn't, and he is a problem. And I don't like problems on my beat, you feel me?
Everybody knows John Klanch, also known as the Klanch. He's an alright dude. In fact, he is the president of the International Brotherhood of Groovy Motherfuckers for the Southmont chapter. He is just trying to keep on keeping on. One day, the Klanch was on his way to get a cup of coffee when Jeff Novotny wanted to have a little chat with him about what he thought about John Klanch exercising his constitutionally protected First Amendment right to flip off law enforcement. Revitalize Johnstown is known as the most toxic forum for discussing local events and what's happening in the community on Facebook. Seriously, the negativity and nastiness is fucking legendary. A lot of people are really vocal in that group, and they make no effort to hide their outright hatred for the Klanch. So let's allow the community that wants to revitalize Johnstown tell their story. Like it is a face-to-face conversation. You can really feel the hatred for the Klanch in the comments. We want to tell the world. Here is your opportunity.
Johnny Klanch is a dick.
Good job talking about this person to who has untreated mental health problems. Stay safe, Mr. Jeff Novotny. It's unfair what he has put you through. Baiting police to pull you over should be against the law. He does it so he can record the conversations with law enforcement and then post to his YouTube channel and profit from it. Then he sues the police in hopes of making money. It's all a big scheme in his confused head. He thinks he's a YouTube star because there will always be a few police haters out there in the World Wide Web just like him. Don't break the laws, and therefore you won't have the police for just doing their jobs. Then he cries on his personal page that he's sick and possibly suicidal, all while he says he is running for public office. Klanch simply needs something productive to do with his life. Does he even have a job? Or does his mom not only pay for his room and board and also pay for his expenses on getting in trouble with police? Thank goodness he stopped calling women all the vile names and all the putrid vile comments he used to make to women in this group. I don't even know where he comes up with all his pure hate against women and police. Who has time for what he does? We are all busy working and spending time with our families. And he's stalking little girls getting off the bus and baiting police to pull him over. And he also harasses Upper Yoder Township officials at every public meeting and also harasses Southmont Borough public officials. There's no end to his hate. Doubt too many will comment because most folks on this page have already blocked him and anything to do with him. Most people are fed up with his crazy disrespectful behavior. He needs a good mental health evaluation, because there is more going on there than his self-proclaimed PTSD. He will keep it up until he finds someone else to sue and harass, unfortunately. Please tell your wife I hope she conceal carries. I do, and I'm not afraid of this idiot that has called me every name in the book and said vile things about me. I'm sure your wife is a great wife and a good person.
Pulling someone over for no other reason than speech used and a perceived offensive hand gesture sure seems like a First Amendment violation to me. Nothing in the video indicates to me that the traffic stop was for any other legally permissible reason. Why don't you guys just sue each other for defamation and settle this dispute in court once and for all?
Janice West Jeffries, you obviously don't know Clanker. Janice West Jeffries Clancher fights and sues anyone he can.
Love you, Beacon.
Police should be held to a higher standard. I watched his videos. You violated his civil rights. You used your position of power to commit crimes. I would expect more from a soldier. You wrote him a check too, didn't you?
Daniel Gaston never wrote a ticket or a check. Sorry.
I know you are sorry. Now apologize for the rest of it and to the people that have watched this video and for all the other people's rights you have stomped all over until now and got away with it. This was shared around with some colleagues and others, and none of them can figure out why anyone would ever let you be a police officer after such an unprofessional, profane attack. You aren't professional enough not to make fun of looks or judge him by his appearance. How could it ever be concluded that you would give him a fair shake or not profile him while on duty if you are doing it on camera now? Then to call him a retard on a video for your YouTube followers? You sir forgot the Army Corp values and this isn't Iraq, capiche? He is a United States citizen, a civilian. You are a liability to any force that allows you to have a shield or carry a gun. More insurance policies will end up paying out for your mistakes for violating citizen civil rights. That results in a policy increase and a tax increase. Sometimes you just aren't cut out for a certain kind of job, and it seems like from the video evidence that you alone provided that a police officer is one of them.
Daniel Gaston, when you put on a uniform and see what it's about, or pick up a rifle and go fight for our country, I'll respect your opinion. Educate yourself. Also, this man continues to harass me when I've been retired for over a year. I guess I'm guilty of stooping to his level. That I'm not proud of. You got me there. So go sit behind your keyboard and be a tough guy.
I am a veteran. When's the last you could pass a PT test? How about show your uniform some respect and shave your face? You look like a bum outlaw biker, not a law enforcement officer. I bet you look pretty close to Bozo the Clown with the right makeup.
Daniel Gaston funny. I am a biker. I'm retired, remember? And you look like a soy boy. Go start another keyboard battle somewhere else.
Jeff, if I was, do you have a problem with them too? I hope John takes your pension and retirement. You are a disgusting person that never should have been put in position of authority in your life, let alone be given a gun and a badge to tramp all over the rights of those you are to be defending. How many atrocities did you commit as an MP in Iraq? Just to let you know, from an enlisted soldier, we all hated the MPs because they were nothing but blue falcons, buddy fuckers, you know? Kids that nobody liked in high school that never should have been allowed live rounds. Was that retirement a choice, big fella? Did Johnny help you into that? I'll just ask him, then I am going to ask how much he took from the insurance policy and how much he is suing you personally for. I hope he is stomping around in your house, farting all up on the cushions, banging your old lady, showing her what it is to be with a real man. Have a good evening, Barney Fife. You couldn't carry my jockstrap.
Daniel Gaston, you realize that profile pic is Clanchar and not me. Way to get your panties in a bunch, soy boy.
Daniel Gaston BS. I seen Clancher's video. Daniel Gaston, go to the Clancher's FB page. Watch all his crazy videos. He fights with everyone. And I mean everyone. He fights with anyone he can. He sues anyone he can. He needs money, evidently. It's also his personality. He needs something constructive to do with his life. If he thinks we all go out there in the community and fight and sue everyone, he's wrong. Most normal people run from that type of drama. Not him. He runs towards it. There is just something wrong with an individual like that. Instead of talking about offing himself, he needs to seek a professional psychiatric evaluation and show that doctor all his videos. And it's dangerous too. It's dangerous to his health, and it's all dangerous to the community at large. I sincerely wish he would seek help. It's not normal. I worked in a state mental health hospital 10 years when I was aged 20 to 30, and I can assure you it's not normal. I wish he would get help and quit subjecting the community to his actions. He fights with everyone, including Upper Yoder and Southmont Borough officials. He goes to their meetings and rants. He makes videos of himself doing all this stuff and then is proud of it.
But what was the crime that was the catalyst of this stop? I thought PA was not a stop and ID state. Your admission to being baited doesn't seem to justify the stop and only seems to incriminate your actions. He was pulled over for exercising his First Amendment right only to have his Fourth Amendment right violated. Of course, I am not an expert that you are when it comes to law and the Constitution, but I would like to know the legality of this stop to avoid any personal interactions with the law. Is this the same stop that resulted in the vehicle being towed as well?
Gayla Reagan, this wasn't what caused his vehicle to be towed. That was a different incident. Put yourself in an officer's shoes. You're in a busy business area with families and children in the area. Would you want some idiot doing this for your kids to see? And he was never cited for anything. I was just trying to keep the neighborhood quiet and safe.
Jeff Novotny, I wasn't sure if the two incidents were connected. But you haven't answered all my questions. I'm mostly concerned about the legality of the actions taken by both of you. I'm asking you to clarify what laws were broken that necessitated this stop to begin with. It shouldn't be difficult for you to educate the public after providing so many years protecting and serving the community.
Gayla Reagan read PA Title 18, Sector 5503. You can also check Terry versus Ohio. There was nothing malicious about my actions, just trying to keep the peace.
Jeff Novotny, although it may not have been clear at the time, exercising one's First Amendment rights is a legitimate defense to the state statute. Under the Supremacy Clause, the state statute is likely unconstitutional with respect to profanities shouted at police and flipping the bird with no other acts committed. The state statute, in part, is also likely unconstitutionally void for being vague. What is considered offensive or obscene is not well defined and also highly subjective. In today's world, shouting, ****CK the police, and flipping the bird is acceptable in a lot of social circles because it is an expression against government oppression. Based on your own admission, the traffic stop would also likely have not passed muster under Terry versus Ohio. Maybe you thought the law was on your side when you pulled him over, but if a court actually decided the matter on the merits, there's a good chance you would have been on the losing side of things.
Gayla Reagan, oh, he definitely is baiting them. Most people don't want interactions with police when they are driving around Johnstown area. Not him. He middle fingers them and screams at them and taunts them to pull him over. How do they know this isn't some crazy person that needs help? Nobody acts like Klanch. How is that not baiting them? Because then he has his truck cameras and phone all ready to scream obscenely profanity words at them after they pull him over. Then he runs to his mommy's house and posts them to YouTube to get his also police-hating supporters to praise him. It's sick. It's sick. These are our officers that run to help people when they call 911. One of our Upper Yoder police years ago was driving around at 2 a.m. or something like that and seen a deaf and mute man's house on fire. He busted his door in and went inside and saved the man's life. That's what our law enforcement does too. And then you have someone like Klanch that gets off on taunting them to pull him over for his videos, all while those same police officers may be needed for an actual emergency.
Cindy Lou, not all people have the same experience when interacting with the police. A person doesn't have to be baiting them to be threatened or harassed. I was threatened with arrest for obstruction. What do you think I was doing? Someone called me to pick them up following a car accident. That was the only information I was given. I parked my car in a lot across the road and up the street because I misjudged the reported location. I walked up the sidewalk to the driver. They were telling me what happened as I walked further up the sidewalk to get a look at the damage. I did not say a word to the officer. I did not step off the sidewalk and I remained on public property, observing. There were 3 to 4. Policemen, firemen, people directing traffic, and of course it had to be a busy intersection. Out of all the first responders, one decided to shout out that he was going to arrest me for obstructing his investigation. What happened next would have made Klanch proud. After losing my pile of poo for the first time, he explained what provoked him to threaten me. Apparently the driver I was picking up didn't follow commands initially. IDK, I wasn't there. I guess he was still feeling some kind of way. His explanation and the black leather gloves he was wearing in the middle of Fuxamer made me feel some kind of way. Fortunately, it was daytime and there were a lot of witnesses. There was absolutely no justification for that behavior.
Gayla Reagan, have you ever went to the Klanch Facebook page? He fights with anyone and everyone to get a video for his YouTube page. Gayla Reagan, the more respectful you are to police, the more they respect you.
I remember how he stalked and harassed that other YouTube girl some time back. He needs to be stopped.
Tracy Reininger, he stalked her children too. Getting off the bus, her family had to get a PFA.
Now, folks, if you know what the Constitution says, you know that Jeff Novotny absolutely, and without any sort of question, did violate John Klancher's First and Fourth Amendment rights. Those rights are guaranteed to every person in this country by the Bill of Rights. In fact, the very first right enumerated in said Bill of Rights is the right to free speech. It's our most fundamental right. That is why it is listed first. The Klanch wants me to thank you very much for watching. Every bit of support is appreciated. The story of Jeff Novotny violating John Klancher's civil rights in the performance of his duties based on his inability to control his tiny little ego needs to be shared. So the Klanch is asking you, his loyal audience, to share all of these videos everywhere you can on the World Wide Web. Finally, the Klanch wants to wish you an amazing today and an even better tomorrow. It's pretty easy to judge a book by its cover, but sometimes when you open that book, you might be amazed at the story you are reading. Celebrate we will, 'cause life is short but sweet for certain.
Now, it's time for you to smash that like button and lovingly caress that subscribe button to make sure you get all the notifications for new videos and live streams on the Klanch's channel.